What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am your average Redditor. Today we're going to be looking at r/ProRevenge. Before we get into the video, subscribe with notifications on for daily Reddit content. Right, let's get into these crazy Reddit stories. Pretend you like me to get taken out on expensive dates? I'll trick you into paying. So this one might be a bit tame for this subreddit, but hopefully you guys still get a kick out of it. I'm new to the subreddit and just Reddit in general, so I'd love to hear your feedback. Also, gonna be a long one, so hold on to your butts. For context, my family is in a very fortunate position financially, and I would describe myself as upper middle class. This story happened a few years ago when I was at university. It was a fairly small university, so many of the students live locally, in a generally very working class area. I also have a twin brother who goes to a different university nearby, who has a small part to play in this story. I had never really had much luck with dating due to having some pretty niche hobbies and interests, so it was hard to find people I can relate to and really click with. But I would always get on and remain friends with people if things didn't work out. I ended up dating a few girls on the uni netball team. They all seemed nice, but again, it was clear we were not a great match. Because I stayed on good terms with everyone, I ended up spending a lot of time around the people I'd previously dated, but just as friends. Consequently, most people on the netball team were familiar with me. Enter the greedy girl, Gigi. She was a bit of an outlier in the team and didn't speak much, so nobody knew much about her. One day, she comes up to me and asked me out on a date. This was a nice surprise as I was normally the one asking. So I said yes, as I had no reason to dislike her at this point. After I say yes, we chat for a bit and she keeps trying to shoehorn into conversation the fact that she, like many others around here, doesn't have a lot of money. I didn't really think too much about it at the time, but in hindsight it was pretty obvious. To keep the story short, I won't explain the dates. We went on 3 before I realised how greedy she was. All you guys need to know is that I paid for everything on every date, but I didn't mind doing this. We normally went out on weekends. One day, I went to the library to get some work done. The desks have tall partitions between them for independent work, but whispering was still allowed in this area. Over the partition in front of me, I hear Gigi's voice whispering to a friend. I begin to stand up to say hi, but stop myself to listen to their conversation just before my head emerged over the top. She was talking about me, calling me things like a posh C-word, but saying she was just gonna let me take her on a few more dates because I took her to fancy bars and bought her expensive drinks. I thought about it and realised that she had always gone for the most expensive drinks on our dates so far, so I decided it was time for some revenge. I left the library without being seen. A few days later, I actually saw her driving a brand new BMW Z4, so she was clearly pretty damn rich herself. The best and fanciest bar in this town was owned by my best friend and her family. It was a small bar but very high end, with some of the drinks being over £15 for a very small drink. Therefore, not many of the students went in, but if you're invited there on a date, it was a special one. I spoke to my friend whose family owned the bar and got her in on my plan for revenge, ensuring she would have my back if things went wrong. I was pretty paranoid about getting caught because I planned on tricking Gigi into paying for everything that night, up to a total of the cost of all the previous dates combined, in excess of 250 quid. To cover my tracks, I asked my twin brother if he wanted to go out with my friends to the pub, telling him my plan and that I would give him some money if he went out dressed like me and with his hair styled the same. I also told him to take plenty of pictures with my friend, so I had an alibi. This is sounding very juicy. The night of the date came around. The bar was busy, but we managed to get a table. I immediately lied to her, saying I'd forgotten my card, but if she paid, I could transfer her the money later. She agreed. I had done this for real on the second date and paid her back as soon as I got home, so she knew I was reliable. I told her to stay sat down and save the table while I went and ordered drinks and the biggest and fanciest tapas plate on the menu from the bar. My friend, pretending she didn't know me, as agreed, served me the drinks. Gigi seemed to be in disbelief of my generosity and pretended that she was having one of the best dates of her life. I also pretended to be enjoying it, continuing to buy expensive food and drink until I had nearly spent the target £250 on her card. The dessert section of the bar's menu is titled Just Desserts. Finding this oddly appropriate for my revenge, I asked her if she wanted her just desserts, pointing at the menu. She laughed and said yes, so I went up to the bar once again with her card and ordered 2 of the super deluxe chocolate fudge cakes. I told my friend to keep one for herself when her shift ends, and if they could write FU on top of Gigi's. The bar has candles with letters on for birthdays, etc. I then returned to Gigi, handed her card back and told her I was going to the gents' bathroom. I left, never repaid the money and went to join my mates and brother at the pub. Gigi confronted me in front of the netball team a few days later. but I just acted confused, telling her I was out with my friends that night, and showed her the selfies my brother had taken with my mates when she tried to argue with me. That is genius. The entire netball team took my side and stopped speaking to her. Gigi has since left the netball team, and from what I can tell, I don't think she has many friends now. I had a fantastic night of revenge with fine food and drink at her expense. My friend got a fudge cake, my brother got some money, and all the lads got to go to the pub. All in all, I found it super satisfying as everyone but Gigi was happy. Hope you enjoyed, guys, and sorry it was a long one. Wow, that is extremely well thought out, I must say. Imagine just sitting there looking across the table at your date who you know is trying to exploit you, faking that you're paying all the money, but realistically just having some really nice food, and it's all on them. I need that elevator now! So I'm an elevator technician. When they break, I'm the one who fixes them. When parts wear out, I replace them, you get it. The other day, I was on a job replacing a worn out emergency light. Back in the day, it was a habit to use the battery of the emergency light to power the elevator's siren system. Modern emergency lights have different voltages being LED, so I can't use the old way of connecting everything. So I have to wire everything up from scratch, including new battery and siren. No big deal, but it takes a little longer to complete the task. Note that this is a 3-stop elevator, ground, first and second floor. I start with hanging up all my out of order signs and start working on the ground floor. 5 minutes in, just disassembled the old piece, the story begins. Originally posted on r/entitled people, posted here on popular demand. In comes the entitled woman, mid-40s, can walk perfectly fine, carrying one barely filled grocery bag. Me, yours truly, EW, entitled woman, D, her lovely daughter, around 15 years old. Excuse me, is the elevator broken again? Not exactly, ma'am. I'm changing this, showing her the new emergency light, because the old one wasn't working anymore. This will probably take about an hour to complete. At this point, her daughter walks in. How am I supposed to get my groceries upstairs? Me, getting annoyed, I look at her bag and give her the "are you effing kidding me" look. Daughter, Mum, seriously, take the stairs, it's 2 floors. Clearly annoyed. No, I paid for this elevator and I need it now. I'm going up, and takes the stairs. How long is this gonna take? Like I said, ma'am, about an hour. The woman then sits her ass down on a bench in the hallway, waiting for me to finish. Really? Oh well, I do my thing in the cabin, not hurrying at all, mount the new E-light to the ceiling, and pack my things to go 1 floor up, to start the wiring on the top of the cabin. Are you done yet? No, ma'am, I still have to wire things up on top of the elevator. No, I can see you're done. You're packing your things? Yes, I had to take my bag 1 floor up so I can start on the wiring. Can't I use it now? No, Mum, you can't. There's exposed wiring up there. If you use it now, you can cause a short and you will get stuck. It's really not safe. Fine. And she sits back down on the bench, seriously pissed off. I take my bag and make my way upstairs. As soon as I stand in front of the 1st floor door, I hear the door on the ground floor close. And sure enough, EW went into the elevator and tried to take it upstairs. Hell no, I was not having that. I take my emergency key, and as soon as the elevator started moving, I open the lock, cutting the safety chain, and the elevator comes to a sudden stop. This scared the poo out of her, and she screams. I open the door, and in my most fake surprised voice, I yell, "Oh no, what have you done?" while calmly pressing the emergency stop on top of the elevator. Yep, this thing isn't going anywhere soon. This is exactly why I said the elevator is unsafe to use now. I'll do my best to get it working again ASAP, but you made a mess up here, so I don't know how long it's going to take. There was no mess, but I couldn't resist teaching her a little lesson. The EW swears, yells, and makes a scene. Obviously. I'll be right back. I have to go to the engine room to see if I can get it working again. I close the door and make my way up. On the 2nd floor, the daughter came out of the apartment because of the yelling of her mother. I quickly explained what happened. Oh no, please get her out of there. But then she comes closer and whispers to me, "Don't hurry, make her suffer." That's my kind of girl. Music to my ears. I smile, give her a thumbs up, and make my way up to the engine room. I call my supervisor to explain the situation, in case she files a complaint. In the engine room, I start playing around with the fuses, putting her in the dark, because yeah, I haven't connected the E-light yet. I play with her for about half an hour before I turn off the emergency stop I activated. The elevator synchronizes to the lowest floor, and I wait for the doors to open. Please, don't ever do that again. EW, white as a sheet, shaking. No, I won't. And she takes the stairs and goes inside. I never heard from her again. I calmly finish my job and leave the building with a smile on my face. Mission accomplished. Well, this EM got what she deserved. How can you not walk up 2 flights of stairs with a tiny shopping bag? How lazy are you? At least her daughter isn't learning from her mum and actually realizes how much of an idiot she is. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed the subreddit. If you have, leave a like, share, and subscribe for more daily Reddit content.